Hey guys, and yes, I am back from conquering Hadrian's Wall in the name of all duck kind. And we're going to be here with an awesome battle between Son of the Mountain and his Chaos opponent. So shall be Dwarfs versus Chaos, which is a particularly fun matchup, and we'll get into it in just a second. But I have returned, so apologies to all those who did message me on Discord and other stuff, which I couldn't reply to. I have just come back this very day from holiday, and you thought you weren't going to get a video today. Well, hopefully if this renders quickly enough, you shall have one before midnight. We're also going to be kicking off our streams once again this week, streaming from tomorrow, probably Monday as well, Wednesday, Thursday, all that good standard stuff. But enough of me rambling, on to the glorious Dowie action. So, for the forces of the Dwarfs, we have quite an elite build, which is something I'm seeing more and more, and I'm a massive fan of it. So we have Longbeards with great weapons, as well as the Peak Gate Guard, Noggoblins Ironbreakers, and more great weapons and hammers in the sunset. So going pretty bad to the bones as much as you can, expecting maybe the enemy to go really heavy metal chosen and other such units. Peak Gate Guard will deal with them rather comfortably. We also have a unit of Dragonback Slayers here in the front, looking to push away the enemy where possible. And of course, if you're going with an elite build, the best character to take is Thorgrim Grudgebearer, and that's just who we see here today. He's very good at supporting his troops. He has the Oath of Vengeance, the Great Book of Grudges, as well as Stand Your Ground. And we have 2 units of Bugman Rangers in the back. Units I don't use terribly often, but certainly can stick around for the long fight, with the fact they can drink some beer and regenerate some of that glorious health. Good anti-skirmishing tool all round. Now, the Chaos opponent has done a pretty funny battle tactic here. I'm a big fan of it, actually. He's spread out 2 Hell Cannons on opposite sides of the map, and this is a bloody huge map right here, knowing the Dwarfs are going to have to trudge all the way along, and his main force shall be in the central pocket here, with Chaos Marauders of weapons dotted all the way along. Cheap, cheerful, drugged up, brewed up, and ready for a good old scrap. We have a couple of Chosen in the back as well, with some Merit Guard, but really disappointed to see these guys are the basic Chosen. I'd much rather have great weapons here. They'll be able to chew through a lot more of those elite troops, but it will give them good staying power, pinning the Dwarfs in place, allowing those Hell Cannons to get some decent shots. We do have the Everwatcher as well, coming in with Plague Rust and Searing Doom leading the line, and 4 units of Marauder Horsemen with Thrown Axes on the far side. Thrown Axes means they're going to get pretty decent armor piercing throughout, but also they can still twirl around and dance around those Slayers, hurling axes and insults in tow. Should be a good fun one. I mean, the poor Dwarfs here are really going to have to trudge their way along and attempt to juke as many shots and Searing Dooms as possible. Though it looks like, ooh, it's a little bit rough there. Dragonback Slayers do get caught, but luckily the Peak Gate Guard escaped the worst there of that magical bombardment. Bugman Rangers are trying to get into their own back lines here to try and fend away the Marauder Horsemen, but there's quite a lot of them here, and the Longbeards do indeed continue to march on. Hell Cannons, it's probably best to move towards one Hell Cannon, finish it off as the other will be out of range, and then trudge all the way back across the map to finish it off, because if the Dwarfs do split their forces, then the Chaos will be able to pick them apart with the Giant Chicken as well as all of these great weapons. Hell Cannon shots come from both sides, but the Bugman Rangers' trap has been sprung. They're loosing arrow after arrow into the Marauder Horsemen, who are taking massive damage here, down to nearly half health after just one volley, and the Bugmans do stand firm. Fire, 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 they're probably screaming, but the Horsemen will be coming in to engage in hand-to-hand combat. Luckily, though, Bugman Rangers have pretty decent melee stats, and it looks like they don't give a crap whatsoever. Oh, you're charging us with horses, are you? I don't really care. They've got charge fence against foes. The Horsemen just kind of slam in and get stopped there. So yeah, the Horsemen not having a good day whatsoever. Unfortunately, Longbeards of weapons are being targeted down, it would seem, by the Hell Cannons. And those Hell Cannons have some lovely arcs of fire now. Going to be able to rip right through the ranks here of the Hammerers if they can indeed connect. The Dwarfs still pushing forward. Another Searing Doom is overcast here, going to be coming down, but the Bugmans do manage to draw back. That's actually going to pull some of the Horsemen into the fray, doing a bucket ton of friendly fire there. These Bugman Rangers really don't care. Just so many horsemen surround them, throwing axes at them, will take you all on. And that's 2 units of Bugmans versus 4 horsemen and an Everwatcher. And the Bugmans looking strong so far. Dragonback Slayers are also falling back, chasing the Everwatcher. They might want to push up here. They're quite fast, faster than those little Marauders. Should be able to get up and shut down one of the Hell Cannons. The remainder of the Dwarf forces, though, have been really badly beat back here. You saw those Hammers just took a huge shot from the flank by this Hell Cannon. But it's all about the Bugman Rangers so far. 3 units of Horsemen, I think, have been dealt with. There's one actually shattered. No, it has come back, but it's been forced away here. The Everwatcher has popped stand or die, and once again the Horsemen crash in, trying to do a bit more cycle charging up against the Dwarfs. But a lot of them stay on their feet. The others do get up quite quickly, and the horsemen are really being chopped to pieces here by those mighty dwarvish axes. Dragonback Slaves have caught up in the back here, looking to surround the Everwatcher, and they will be able to slow him down, so could be a tricky situation for him, but good micro there by the Chaos player, realises the situation and decides to fall back. One unit of Longbeards with great weapons has been dispatched to deal with this Hell Cannon, but likewise there shall be some Chaos Marauders in tow and some Horsemen. They should be able to catch them up quite nicely. Norgrim Ironbreakers doing some good damage here to the Chaos Marauders with great weapons, just obliterating them. And I suppose a lot of the money has gone into these Hell Cannons. Now the front line has engaged, the Marauders have just been butchered by the far more elite Dwarvish forces, led by the Grudge Bear himself. We still have the Chosen, who probably want to whip around the flanks actually and get to defensive positions to guard these Hell Cannons who have used up a ton of their ammunition. Looks like, and rightly so, the Chaos players decide to completely ignore the Bugmans for now. They're massively out of position, and they just don't die. And you can see they are regenerating and healing up quite nicely here. 31 and 54 kills apiece. Some pretty fantastic work there. Unfortunately, these Longbeards do get shut down due to a charge in the rear there from the Horsemen, and the assistance of the Chaos Marauders is going to protect this Hell Cannon, and it's going to continue to fire in time and time again. Hammers do engage here with the Mirror Guard. Not a terrible fight for them, but they are being, of course, abused by that Hell Cannon from the sky, though there are Peak Gate Guard rallying to their war cries, should be able to come and save them, and Norgrim Ironbreakers will be able to force back the Marauder Horsemen. If they're not too careful, they could indeed get caught. Chosen are being pulled out here to the flanks, looking to protect the Hell Cannon where possible. Where is the other unit of Chosen? Again, looking pretty healthy, and it's going to be a bit of a grindy game. This Hell Cannon down to just 4 ammunition. Bugman Rangers are now unleashing hell upon the Chosen. They do unfortunately have silver shields and 120 armor though to compensate for, having to trudge through the mud towards those Bugmans. Hammers hold firm because the Peak Gate Guard did arrive in time, and boy oh boy are they butchering these manlins. This, you call that a hammer? This is a hammer. Slaughtering the Mirror Guard, who are fleeing for their lives, and that is going to allow the Hammers now to rear attack these Marauders and break them against the ultimate anvil, which is the Iron Breakers. But not before those Hell Cannons dish out even more dirt there. Marauder Horsemen once again being forced back by the Bugman Rangers, who have had a fantastic performance so far. Hell Cannon on the left is up to 89 kills. They've probably got some pretty disgusting work done here up against such an elite Dwarvish build, but their infantry is really starting to struggle. Chaos Marauders are breaking on all fronts. A beautifully well-placed Serum Doom is going to come down, but the Dwarfs just about managed to force their way forward into the enemy lines with one big heave and push to actually break the Marauders and escape the worst of the magical damage. Those still took a bit of a pounding. Horsemen are wavering, looking to charge into the Bugmans, but they're in such a tight formation, you're going to see the Horsemen will really struggle to penetrate, and they're just going to get stuck there, and they will simply be getting dragged down. Bugmans still have a bucket ton of ammunition, so kiting the Chosen isn't the worst idea in the book. Hell Cannon out of ammunition. The other one simply has 3 shots left in. Have they done enough damage? Well, the balance of power says it is dead even. Hammers are being forced off here, but the Peak Gate Guard being led by Thorgrim Grudgebearer are hunting the mighty Everwatcher. Oath of Vengeance being popped on him, lowering his melee defense to a pretty pathetic 16. But they need to get through the Chaos Marauders as well as the Chosen, and the Chosen are going to be the big problem here with all the Hammers looking so beat up and injured. Though there are Longbeards, Ironbreakers still going pretty strong. In fact, the Dragonback Slayers are basically full health, which is really good news for them because they can surround the Everwatcher and drag him down with ease, and Grudgebearer can do a decent job up against the Chosen if supported. In the distance, we can see these Chosen, who do come with 28 speed, struggling to catch the fleet-of-foot Bugman Rangers, though these guys are rather tired against winded, so they should be able to escape, hopefully, the Bugmans. They're doing a good job of just kiting the enemy, but that can only last for so long because, of course, the Everwatcher can hop on top of them, slow them down, and allow the Chosen to go around their butcher's work. Dragonback Slayers do return to the field. We are going to get a fat Plague of Rust, overcast in fact, going down on the Ironbreakers, but they do manage to break the Chaos Marauders, and the Chosen seem to be having their hands a bit full here at the moment, with 14 Peak Gate Guards still somehow holding the line up to 123 kills. Thorgrim needs to go over there and support, but both the Hell Cannon crews are starting to move forward, the evil brethren there of the Dwarvish folk. Although I suppose evil is maybe perspective, but I think Chaos Dwarfs arguably are more evil. I think it's pretty hard to fight for their honour. Anyway, Peak Gate Guard as well as Grudgebearer are coming in now to surround the Chosen with an Oath of Vengeance going down on them. Lower their melee defense quite considerably by 24. They're going to be struggling. Well-placed Serum Doom. Dwarf player does try to avoid and dodge it, but unfortunately it's a tad too slow. I had such a frustrating game the other day up against someone spamming Chill Wind over and over again, and it's just some of these spells are simply undodgeable, and I'm afraid, for the Dwarfs. Droneback Slayers trying to cut off the retreat of the Everwatcher and box him in place. Somehow those Chosen do catch those Bugmans, but they've had a good job day kind of all round, so they can have a break and just kind of run to the edge of the battlefield, chill out, sip on their brew, and live to fight another day. Bugman Rangers attempting to fight in, Droneback Slayers are now going to be protecting them, and the main battle line is certainly being heavily won here by the Dwarfs. Thorgrim finishing off those Chosen for good. And do we still have that other unit of Chosen? Let's have a little look around the battlefield. I don't know if we actually do. It's starting to look pretty bleak. Oh yeah, they were the ones chasing the Bugmans. They've given up the chase, and for their efforts, they're going to be getting shot in the rear by the Bugmans when they do indeed turn around, and they themselves will be regenerating up quite happily. Everwatcher still has 4.4k health. Balance power is still dead even, but with Thorgrim so healthy and a small retinue of loyal troops, as well as the Droneback Slayers, hopefully they'll have enough to chew through the Chosen, but there's still 60 of them, basically full health, and some well-placed Searing Dooms could certainly turn this game on its head. Hellcannon crew desperately trying to chase down Bugman Rangers, who decide, you know what, we've had enough of running, we're going to turn and fight. Nope, just joking. We're now going to run away once more, and the Slayers will easily mop up the Hellcannon crew. Plagueros does go down, trying to allow the Hellcannon crew to actually butcher the Bugmans, but I think it would have been better to wait until the Chosen catch up and then drop them on whatever they engage, be it the Ironbreakers or the Bugmans themselves. Slayers have basically killed this Hellcannon crew, now down to just 2 models. Bugmans do pull the enemy into the waiting and joyous axes of the Longbeards, but it is a trap, a Searing Doom trap indeed. Chaos Player's been very good with his Searing Dooms, and it looks like it is going to catch a decent amount of Dwarfs in that trap. Bugmans, though, have to live to fight another day here. Should be able to range fire down on the Everwatcher, who's simply bouncing between combats, which is certainly what he should be doing. Dwarf player needs to get as tight as possible and allow the Dragonbacks to protect the rest of the build, whilst the Bugmans pour shots down onto the Chosen. This second unit is hidden currently, so the Everwatcher can't actually float over there and finish him off. Maybe he doesn't even know that the Bugman is here. Standard die is being popped on the Chosen, but Thorgrim cares not. Going to charge straight in and hex them with an Oath of Vengeance, which basically just takes away that 24 meter defense that they were given, so they're still going to be pretty strong. Dragonback Slayers are going to charge in. Now, they're not designed to kill Chosen, but they do damage against pretty much anything in the game, which is always nice to have such a healthy unit in the end game. Thorgrim does manage to drive away the Everwatcher, and now needs to just rear attack the Chosen and beat them back while the Ironbreakers hold the line. Bugman Rangers are shooting shots continuously. Searing Doom is going to catch those Longbeards as well as the Bugmans, and some pretty horrendous damage. Hellcannon crew is nearly finished off, however. Those Droneback Slayers really are after the Everwatcher all game and haven't been able to capitalise just yet. Chosen, with the lowering of that melee defense, are really struggling up against the Ironbreakers, who are somehow still holding down to just 868 HP. Chosen down to about half health though, and Thorgrim Grudgebearer does start to drag the Dwarvish forces into the lead on the balance of power. The Droneback Slayers looking to surround the Everwatcher. Might honestly just want to float over here and help kill the Chosen at this point. Finish them off, fire in with the Bugmans, and then at the end of the day, the Everwatcher is going to have to stand and fight, and you can seal the deal because the Grudgebearer is looking to mark off probably quite a few grudges here. I'm sure the Everwatcher has caused all kinds of pain and chaos for the Dwarvish troops. Longbeards with great weapons have charged in. They are wavering, but not before they dish out some pretty decent damage onto the Chosen. Ironbreakers, 18 models left. We're not fast. We will continue to fight here. The Bugmans have been cycle charged to death this game. Cavalry, magical shots from the sky, gigantic chickens, Chosen, and still they stand, shooting at the Chosen from both angles. And the Chosen's leadership really starting to waver here. It looks like the Ironbreakers will finally maybe give out hope. Still 12 leadership though, almost as much leadership as they have models here. And Thorgrim slaps some more Chosen left, right, and centre. The real heroes here, of course, are the Dwarfs underneath him, having to lift that mighty chair. Stand your ground has been popped, keeping the Ironbreakers in the fight. 11 models, 250 HP. They still fight on, and that is buying more and more time for the Bugmans to loose shot after shot, and it all adds up. Yes, they don't have many troops left on either side, but it certainly helps. One Hammerer, one Peak Gate Guard charging back past his fallen comrades into the fray to protect his Bugman bros. Hammer lifted for Gondor, and he dies. No, he's got 15 HP, he lives. I died, then I lived. and he charges once more in, up against the Everwatcher, trying to show him what's what. And it looks like he's actually a little bit stable with his HP. The Chosen, the same cannot be said by them, as Thorgrim is starting to butcher them. The Peak Gate Guard is wavering, but it continues to drive forward in the name of Bugman, in the name of all the gods old and new. He's coming for vengeance, and he is trying to slap the Everwatcher. This is amazing here. 15 HP, still going. This is beautiful right now. The Thorgrim Grudgebearer is doing a decent job holding back the Everwatcher, so I got a little excited there. Oh my god, that Peak Gate Guard is my hero right now. Bugman Rangers continue to pour in fire, and I think the guard is actually going to survive here. Everwatch has just chucked himself onto Thorgrim's mercy, but with the Slayers nearby, there's just no way. Down he goes, but the man, the myth, the legend, the Hammerer lives. And, oh, that's such an amazing game. A Pyrrhic victory there for the forces of the Dwarfs. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I certainly did. It's going up really late, so this may not get as much news and coverage as normal people come to see it, and I'm very tired having had a flight back here, so apologies if the commentary wasn't up to the usual par, but my god, that was amazing. Well played to Son of the Mountain and Wardog. A really close game, not much left on either side. That was a real Pyrrhic victory if ever I've heard one. A really interesting tactic as well, coming in by the Chaos, and it nearly paid off. But what can men do against such reckless Hammerers and Rangers? That was fantastic. We'll go through the damage dealt and damage value of all the units in just a second. I'm very interested to see particularly how a lot of the Dwarvish forces fared and the Hell Cannon. But before we get to that, if you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for future glorious Total War Warhammer content. Comment down below as well. What was your favourite moment? Just scream Hammerer at me if you like, or Peak Gate Guard in honour, or raise a brew to the honour of that Peak Gate Guardman who came back to fight for Thorgrim there. Or comment, who's your MVP? What do you think of this matchup? Just yell quack at me. I really do enjoy reading all the comments. They really do inspire me to keep making work on this glorious fun game. There's a load of cool stuff coming out. I should hopefully have a schedule soon of any early access stuff I can give you coming in about the new DLC, but I'll probably talk about that on stream either tomorrow or Monday. There are links down below in the description. If you want to support the channel via Patreon, you can indeed. We're also doing lessons over there, so you can check it out for more information, all that good stuff. There's links to my Discord if you want to submit replays to me, like Son of the Mountain, chill out with a load of cool guys, get involved in events and stuff that I host. Feel free to hop in there. We have a really bubbly community of experienced and new players alike, so there's always people to play with. And there's also links down below if you do want to pre-order the next DLC, or just buy the DLC when it comes out. Total War Warhammer free and all that good stuff. You can get discounts on my Games Planet account. Or everything linked below. Usual standard boring stuff. But here we go. Damage value, damage dealt. Thorgrim Grudgebearer, 741. Okay, not amazing. Not amazing. But the buffs really helped, and that's kind of what he's here for. He's a very good support lord. Longbeards did a decent job across the board. I mean, 735 damage value. The others actually fared pretty poorly, of course, being focused down by those Hell Cannons. Hammerers, 650, 139, so they struggled quite a bit as well. But units which didn't struggle. Dragonback Slayers, 1.7k damage value, though they did spend a considerable time chasing around the Everwatcher without much success. 1,056 damage value on the Peak Gate Guard. The MVP's for me by far. I don't care what the damage value says. That was just too heroic at the end there. Ironbreakers, 1.4k. Bugman's 1,500 and 1,160. They did not give a F at the end there, or at the start. Just, yeah, charge me with Cav, charge me with your lord. I do not care. I'm here and I'm here to stay. The Everwatcher, with some rather masterful Searing Dooms actually by Wardog, coming with those little bait and switches, charging in, drawing in the Dwarfs and whacking them with a Searing Doom. 2,319 damage value, not too shabby. Marauders across the board struggled pretty badly. Likewise did the Mirror Guard and even the Chosen, only 620 damage value here. The other unit fared much better, 1.3, but they did get to chase down some Bugmans as well. And overall, the Dowie Infantry just outclassed, unfortunately, the Warriors of Chaos. And on the Horsemen, I don't even hate the play of charging into the Bugmans. I probably would have done the same thing now. Surrounding them and charging from all sides would have been considerably better. But you see a range unit, you hop on it, right? You just beam straight in, charge it, try to run it over. But it simply didn't work, and losing the Horsemen early on allowed the elite infantry of the Dwarvish folks to carry the day. Hell Cannons, though. I love the split, one on either flank doing some damage. 122 kills, 15,398 damage dealt, 2,242 damage value. That's some naughty business. Second Hell Cannon not performing quite so well, but still very good. 72 kills, 11,000 damage dealt, 1,592 damage value. Whew, that was some awesome stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.